I don't have to help you in your investigation.
Okay.
You can't demand ID when you can't articulate a crime that you think I've committed.
Yeah, you've been free to go this whole time.
She told me I've been detained.
You understand that she's just trying to gain your compliance, right?
You can't bully people into giving ID when you don't suspect a crime.
Sure. Nobody is trying to bully you into anything.
She just told me she could take me to jail if I don't give her my ID.
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. On January 5th of 2024, Mr. Bulldog was riding his bike in Jacksonville, North Carolina, stopping at times to take video of various locations on foot, just around the corner of the city's police department. Jacksonville police officer Ashlie Glantz pulled up claiming calls were made concerning Mr. Bulldog's activities.
Excuse me?
How you doing, sir?
All right. How can I help you? Is there a reason I'm doing a job? Yeah, to make money.
Okay. People have just been calling, just thinking it's kind of weird.
It's journalism. I'm sorry.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it's protected under the First Amendment, so.
I'm not saying you're not.
Sorry about that.
All right, but hold on. Hold on.
Am I being detained?
Yeah, right now.
For what? For which crime?
So I'm further investigating why you're walking around.
What crime? That's not a crime. Walking around
Okay,
isn't a crime. You have to articulate a crime before you can detain me.
I could also detain
Supervisor.
Supervisor. Okay.
Yep. You can't detain just anyone. You have to articulate a crime.
I can detain
You're incorrect.
While I further investigate.
Get your supervisor and let's find out.
Okay.
Okay. Name and badge number.
Officer Ashlie Glantz. You dispatch your supervisor. Badge number 861.
Thank you.
Do you have your ID on you?
I do not.
Can you dispatch a supervisor to my location? Hello. How you doing, sir?
So, I'm assuming he's the one that complained?
No. I don't even know who complained. It came out as anonymous.
This is a constitutionally protected activity, so I'm being harassed right now, basically.
My neighbors are calling me saying, hey, there's some dude running around.
Recording.
So
Yeah.
I showed up because I'm like, okay.
In public, on a public sidewalk.
Sir, I'm not saying you're not.
You
allowed to
are.
record.
You are. By your presence here
Okay.
bothering me while I'm working is telling me I'm not allowed to do this.
Okay. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Okay.
But I'm investigating why we're getting calls about someone walking around.
Walking around isn't a crime, though.
I never said it was a crime, but I still have the right to
no,
detain.
you do not.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm being illegally detained right now, is what you're
That's what
telling
you
me.
want to say?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. But you are failure. You're not identifying yourself. You're refusing.
What crime have I committed?
So at the end of the day, if law
It's not the end. This is the beginning.
Listen to me for a sec. So if law enforcement requests your identification, right? Your name, your date of birth, your ID card, your driver's license number, you are obligated to give that to law enforcement.
No, you're not.
Okay.
In the United States, reasonable suspicion is required for a lawful detention, but the law requires more than a subjective hunch or unparticularized suspicion. It must be based on specific, objective, and articulable facts, rather than on broad or subjective impressions.
People have just been calling, just thinking it's kind of weird.
They must point to a specific behavior that logically suggests a possible crime. For instance, someone loitering in a high-crime area at night might be suspicious, but without more specific behaviors indicating criminal activity. This alone is not enough for reasonable suspicion, which means this detention is unlawful and a clear violation of Mr. Bulldog's rights protected under the First and Fourth Amendment.
Not unless you can articulate a crime.
So I can articulate that this
Walking around is not
behavior.
suspicious. Isn't a crime.
Okay, but it is something we have to investigate.
It's not a crime, so I don't have to comply with anything. I don't have to help you in your investigation.
Okay. Well, I am asking you to identify yourself. You are refusing.
Haven't committed a crime.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter. No, I do not.
Okay.
You are incorrect.
Okay.
Well, you're about to learn. I hope this is your supervisor. He's about to school you if it's your actual supervisor.
Okay. How are you, sir?
Doing all right. Long day.
I just got here.
Oh, I'm trying to end my day.
Right. That's not my supervisor.
That's not going to help then.
Well, I requested a supervisor.
It has to be in a timely manner. You understand that, right?
I understand that the city of Jacksonville is quite large.
It's not. It's not. It's not large at all.
Roughly 5 minutes into the detention, Officer Glantz speaks to her supervisor over the phone.
I'm getting a phone call from my supervisor. You're still not free to leave.
We'll see.
All right, thank you, man. Yeah, he's at Gum Ranch in 17, so he is on his way.
To tell you that you're violating my rights.
It's not not what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay.
I'm walking up and down the street
Okay.
doing a protected activity,
Okay.
and you stop me and demand ID for no crime.
So, like I explained to you, we've gotten multiple calls.
Suspicious isn't a crime.
Okay. That gives us something to investigate.
It does not.
further.
No,
Yes, it
you
does.
can investigate all you want, but
Okay.
you can't demand ID
Yes, I
when you
can.
can't articulate a crime that you think I've committed.
I never said you committed a crime. I said.
So then you
we
have
are
no right here.
investigating your suspicious behavior. Or we're
Suspicious
getting
isn't a
multiple
crime.
calls. You have to identify yourself.
I do
to me.
not.
Okay.
Suspicious is not a crime.
Hello, sir. How are
Name and badge number, please.
you? My name's Corporal Tim Bureau. My officer number is 674.
Thank you.
The Jackson Police Department.
Thank you.
You live around here?
I'm not answering any questions.
Okay. Well, you have a nice day then, okay?
Thank you. Am I free to go?
Supervisor.
Oh, you
So
did?
who's waiting for police?
Yeah, you've been free to go this whole time.
She told me I've been detained
Oh, okay.
twice now. So I'm detained?
Well, you want a supervisor?
Am I detained?
I'm trying to identify you.
That's not happening. Am I detained?
Well, at the end of the day, I'm trying to identify you.
That's not my problem. I don't have to further your investigation for you. That's your job. So if you want to find out who I am, you go run photo arrays, whatever you want to do. Apparently you have no idea how it works. You can't walk up to a citizen not committing a crime and demand ID. That's not how this works.
Okay. Yes, you know the law more than
I do, actually. It turns out that I do. Man,
my supervisor is on his way, and we'll talk with you.
hard to believe a citizen out here would actually have a degree and know what they're talking about, huh?
Here.
It's all right. We're going to stop all this corruption.
You doing all right?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
Especially when I'm being illegally detained.
Well, I already told you you're free to go. So if you'd like to leave.
Am I free to go?
If you want to go, you don't want to talk to a supervisor?
Am I free to go or am I detained? I need an
Go
answer. I'm not detained.
Just so you know, sir, this is the Jackson Police Department. So there's
Great.
the gates and everything, the fence and everything.
Great.
Just don't enter into that fence.
That's
okay?
fine.
Cool.
So I'm on the sidewalk. It's where I've been the whole time before I was harassed.
More than welcome to stay there.
So
Go.
once again, you've been proven wrong by your own coworker here.
You have a great day, sir.
I'm having a great day.
Me too.
I'm not breaking the law. I'm right here on the sidewalk in public, exercising my constitutional right. Wow. Corruption at its finest.
Shortly after being released, the supervisor arrives on scene.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Name and badge number, please, since you approached me.
Sergeant Bousquet, sir.
All right.
What's going on today?
I've been released. Are you detaining me again?
So you're not detained?
Okay, thank you.
Over the next couple minutes, Mr. Bulldog films the plates of the cruisers to document who was on scene before attempting to mount his bike and leave. But as he returned to it, he was detained a second time.
All right, guys. Well, look, I'm sure you're capable of handling it. I hope you have a great day, bud.
Hey, sir. The officer asked you for your name and the information.
What crime do you suspect me of?
Well, like she explained to you, she's investigating suspicious activity.
Suspicious isn't a crime.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know y'all wish it was, but it's not.
Okay. Are you going to give her your name and information?
No, I haven't committed
So
a
what do you
crime.
plan on doing, sir?
I'm doing my job, trying to, without being harassed.
Okay.
I'm just gathering content for a story, and y'all want to harass me over it.
Okay. What's your job? You're a writer?
Obviously, I'm a journalist.
Well, how is that obvious?
I'm gathering content for a story.
Okay, well,
Who else
everybody
does
with a
that?
cell
Do
phone
mechanics
isn't a
do that?
journalist, sir.
Excuse me?
I said everybody with a cell phone isn't a journalist.
If they choose to be, they are. It's in the Constitution.
Okay. Cell phones make you a journalist?
If that's what you choose to do, yeah.
Okay. You need anything else?
I mean, like I said, I'm investigating suspicious activity.
Suspicious
Called
isn't a
by
crime.
multiple people about someone reporting. Asked
Fully
for
legal.
Identification. If law enforcement asks for identification, you are required to identify
You are
yourself.
not. Why am I not in jail right now, then?
Because we're trying to not go that route by you not identifying yourself. So technically,
You see, I got bail money. So, I mean, if y'all really want to press it.
I can't arrest you right now for resist obstruct delay. You're obstructing my
I'm not
investigation.
no, I haven't
Delaying
obstructed
my investigation
anything.
as well.
I don't have to help you in your investigation.
In North Carolina, officers have access to a book titled Crimes. It lays out the elements of a crime so that an unsure law enforcement officer can do their due diligence and be sure that they don't make an unlawful arrest. The book explores each element and provides examples of when the statute is not to be used. For example, Element 1 shows a person can walk or even run away from an officer if the police-initiated encounter is consensual, but Element 2 is going to be the one that wins this lawsuit. It begins by explaining Hybel, a Supreme Court decision that held that a person who had been stopped on reasonable suspicion of a crime must disclose his name. However, it continues to state that unlike Nevada, North Carolina does not require a person to disclose his or her name under similar circumstances, and that in the absence of such a statute, that a person's mere refusal to disclose his name is insufficient to support a charge of resist, obstruct, delay. And all things considered, this book is talking about when an officer has reasonable suspicion. But in this encounter, as we mentioned earlier, they have not yet met the standard. But the worst part is that most agencies in North Carolina carry this book in their patrol car so they can refer to it when they are uncertain of the law. You can also find copies at the police station and even on the prosecutor's desk, leaving plenty of wiggle room for these officers to look it up.
I don't have to help you identify anyone. That's helping your investigation. That's your job. That's what I pay you to do.
Sure, you understand that she's just trying to gain your compliance, right?
That's not my problem.
I don't want to take you to jail, but also, I'm doing my
You
job.
clearly do, because this is a legal, constitutionally protected activity that you're harassing me over. And then you're lying to me, telling me I have to submit ID to any officer that asks. No, that's incorrect. If you suspect me of a crime and you can articulate it, then yes, I will surrender ID.
Let me clear it up.
We can clear it up in court.
We're not in court, sir.
We can be very easily.
I would like to avoid that.
I would rather not, because this is going to keep happening until you guys are taught a lesson.
What's that, sir?
That you can't bully people into giving ID when you don't suspect a crime.
Sir, nobody is trying to bully you into anything.
She just told me she could take me to jail if I don't give her my ID.
What she's trying to make sure you understand is when law enforcement are investigating something.
They can investigate whatever you want. You have to suspect me of a crime. What crime do you suspect me of? All she can articulate is suspicion, not a crime.
You're gonna listen, sir? You ask me questions. You want the answers?
Not really. I know the answers. You think I would come out here and not know?
What are you asking the questions for?
Just see if you know them.
Trust me, I do.
You clearly don't. Like, you see the time, like, you realize this is costing me job money right now? You're costing me time?
Keep your hand out of your pocket.
No problem. Am I detained or am I free to go?
Right now you're detained, sir.
Okay. For what crime do you suspect me of?
Because she's following up on investigation.
What crime do you suspect me of?
Suspicious activity.
It's not. So suspicion is a crime?
Are you going to give her your name and information?
No.
Okay. Turn off the transcriber.
Okay.
Mr. Bulldog was arrested and charged with resist, obstruct, delay, but the incident report fails to give additional information. It states that Mr. Bulldog, quote, failed to identify oneself after being asked multiple times, further stating that at the time the officer was discharging and attempting to discharge an official duty by investigating suspicious behavior, literally copying the statute as her narrative. And so it appears that none of the officers ever looked at the book regarding the charge. But that's what happens when you hire 20-year-olds with GEDs and hand them a weapon and power over their peers. In fact, it's become so common for officers to not understand the law that law firms are writing articles on their websites about how common it is. Mr. Bulldog says that during booking, Officer Glantz told him that she wasn't going to take his fingerprints, and at first he didn't understand why, until he saw the magistrate and was refused bond because he had no fingerprints on file. And so it's alleged that Officer Glantz was attempting to manipulate the system to keep him in jail with no bond for much longer than normal. As you would expect, Mr. Bulldog intends to fight this charge, and to follow up the civil rights violations with a complaint against the officers which will go nowhere, and then a well-deserved lawsuit. And with that, the court of public opinion is now open. As the jury, let me know what you think of this interaction. Do you expect more from your law enforcement officers? Or is this acceptable? Leave your answer in the comment section. And if you like this video, check out one of my other investigations linked on screen.